this is a meeting of the Open Space Committee. This meeting will be video recorded and broadcast over local access channel 8 and through the town website at www.eastham-ma.gov. Okay, first, let's go through who's here.
I did.
Rob Young here.
Francis Lewis present.
Joanna Buffington present.
Linda Dorflinger present.
All right, first on our agenda is to approve the meeting minutes from September.
So I have, what you posted was from a Mac pages. Were you two able to? read it?
I opened it up and using my Android,
Yeah,
and it came out very nice.
yeah,
But
good.
it didn't have your
What?
OSRP?
I did.
Oh,
SRP.
okay.
I think they came through good. When I reread it this afternoon, I didn't see any correction.
Yeah, I looked at it
Okay.
this afternoon
I
too.
wasn't there. I had
Yeah.
to just look.
So,
So,
I
so,
can't vote.
well, I think you can, do people that weren't present, can they vote to approve it?
I think if you've watched the meeting.
Yeah.
right,
Or, which I didn't. How about if I just look at the minutes?
Yeah.
And then.
All right.
okay, Rita, we'll come back to that.
And
Okay.
We did have minutes that were missing that we got a notice on, and there's just 1 month that we're missing now, Francis.
yeah, according to the note I got from Rachel, July has been submitted, April's been submitted, we're waiting for August.
Wait for August,
I
and that
think
was,
it's Karen.
that was Karen.
So
Okay,
maybe we'll send her a note.
I'll reach out to her.
Thank you.
Okay, and, you know who to send that to once we approve them?
R. Smith
R. Smith.
at Eastham, -ma.gov.
Yeah, I got it in my,
Yeah.
Okay,
There's a typo here.
Oh, wait a second. Before we
where?
approve, sharp eyes.
Land acquisition and outreach strategy. Jackie, second sentence, Jackie suggested we share our plan, not out plan with the
Oh,
select board.
and that would be a small, lowercase o. Is that a lowercase o?
No, I circled the
Oh,
whole word
okay.
O-U-R instead of O-U-T.
Tiny fits.
It could be an out plan, but I think it's an our plan.
All right.
all right, next thing,
So with,
ahead.
with the correction, I moved that with this small smelly correction, we moved to accept the August minutes,
and I second,
September minutes.
September minutes. Sorry.
second,
Okay,
and I
Francis,
third my own.
no, we don't
No,
need
we
a
don't need
third.
third.
Francis, yes.
Rob, yes.
Linda, yes.
Joanna, yes.
September
Okay.
minutes.
The minutes are good, and you'll send those in with that correction.
Yes.
All right, great.
Oh, did you do them, Linda?
Yes.
Because it should say submitted. but
it does on the other.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay,
I think.
And
that's
I will,
okay,
so it's all in one page.
yep, good,
good.
Okay.
thank you.
Super.
I just noticed that too.
Okay,
Thanks.
The next on the agenda is the OSRP, Francis and Michelle.
Yeah, we haven't had a meeting this recently, but, Shayna met with Hillary from the Health Department and Alex for their input on the, natural resources goals. And they both suggested that they'd like to have input from the Conservation Commission. That would be Karen Strauss. So next week is a meeting scheduled with her to have her. There's about 40 goals. Have her look at those. And then after that, the next step is with committees. So that's where we are on that piece.
Okay. Anyone have any questions? No, good. So the open space SharePoint, I discussed with Francis and then I met with Alex this past week. And our concern was that first of all, we were having problems getting into that. I don't know if anyone was able
I
to
have
get into
tried.
it.
Yeah,
Andrew had problems, I had problems. Francis, did you try getting into the SharePoint?
No, because I thought we
Okay.
should meet as a group.
Well, yeah, so then we decided that more importantly, we should have a smaller ad hoc group who should decide what the bins will be that will be putting these files in. And in addition to that, when I met with Alex, both when we went on site recently this week, and then when I met with him the week before, and then met with him this past week, he is willing to be the clearinghouse in the beginning, since we're gonna have so much information, that everything we have individually, we'll set it up that it will go to him. And then that group of people who are gonna set up the bins, I'm willing to sit on that, Francis, if you want to,
Yes.
and Alex.
And then, Andrew had volunteered to do that at the last meeting.
Okay, and the geotags he wanted to
Yeah,
do,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So we'll get that group together who will decide what the bins will be. So whether or not it's Bob Cook's information
Right,
that we all have a little bit
yeah.
of, just so that when we go to put it in there, you know, what I might think is going into one bin, you might think differently. And that way, if we can set down the actual names of the bins, then Alex will know where to put them. Going forward, we can then know where they go. You can look and see what's in there and follow through. And then we'll all have a training on how to use that
Yeah,
with Kendra,
yeah,
okay? Or
Like
Kayla.
maybe like multiple.
Yeah, well, she'll spend time with us because we are the guinea pig.
Yeah.
For other committees, and we want to do this right, so it's easy for everybody else to kind of follow in our path. So with that, I'll reach out to Alex and see when we can set up a time to at least discuss before the next meeting,
Yeah, that would be great.
okay?
Before you leave that topic, the monitoring app was in the new programming that Kayla did.
Mhm.
Did we ever
No,
finalize that?
No.
So that's another thing to finalize, how we upgrade that.
right. She was still working on it, I think, when she was showing us, and then was gonna give us the link to do that on our pages, so. Since they've revised what the original one
Right.
was. I'll see that we get that,
So you're gonna set up a meeting with Alex.
Alex.
Yeah, and we'll all work on the bins first and then figure out how to
Go
get
from
them
there.
there.
And I'll check into the monitoring app.
Yeah.
Next thing is the Wiley Park Trailhead kiosks. Francis had brought up the last meeting and we had agreed that we wanted to put the header signs on. We're gonna put signs on the top of them that say Wiley Park, the ones that we put. Just so, especially the one on Herringbrook Road, people may not realize,
Right.
you know. So, and the company is charging $350 per sign, so it's 2 signs. Plus the shipping, so the total came to $800, which we have money left over.
Wait a minute, what company
The company that made the kiosks.
does headers for them?
Does
Oh, it's part of the, it's not for inside the thing,
No,
it's part of
On
the,
the top.
oh,
That-
Wiley Park. Is that?
$800.
Yeah, you know what, Linda,
I know,
money is all invented fake stuff.
I gotta get over it.
I know, it's hard though. We
So
have money
Alex-
left over from the
It's
signs.
from the signs.
How much money do we have left over?
Francis. do you remember?
11,000.
We had about 2,000.
Okay, so we
Is-
should have, and next time we
We'll
Do
just
they
include that.
include that, yeah. So, yeah, it's within the budget.
Especially for I mean, it's good for the one that's in the parking lot one, but the one that's on Herringbrook Road,
Road.
it just
Right.
Yeah. People, yeah,
makes sense,
people
because
don't.
people don't have no idea, you know, are they going into, you know, when they look on the map, it's kind of a combination of, you know, Wiley Park and Nickerson and stuff.
Is Nickerson,
Well, that's still,
that's Wiley Park.
No,
No,
no, but,
I
and,
don't,
That's why you should never
but
name
that part
things.
is
Well,
Wiley
Wiley.
Park.
Where'd the Wiley come from? I know where Nickerson comes
it
from.
was a gentleman that.
It was a person.
That donated the
Okay,
land,
okay.
71 or something like that. I'd have to go back.
Okay,
We have
yeah,
some.
Not the
plans.
Coyote, it's not the Coyote.
We should Wiley Coyote. That's why names should never be people, because they like the Sullivan Stadium, Schaefer Stadium, the Patriot
Right.
Stadium outside in
Yeah.
Foxborough has had, it depends on who gives the most money the next time.
Right.
It should be the football stadium.
well, the same
Sorry,
same
anything.
with wings on hospital.
School, yeah, you're right. So anyway.
Shapiro,
yeah,
so
Okay, so
we're
we're
not gonna
good with
change
that,
the world.
right? We don't need to take that.
Just on that, to keep in mind that when we're talking with Alex, he was ordering an information about ticks. And we were gonna have that since ticks are mostly year round, and he was gonna order it and we were gonna put it in
The kiosk.
the
Yeah.
kiosk. to keep it
As
on.
far as I know, he did order them.
He
but I'll
ordered
double
that, but
check.
just
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
And then when we get that, when you come in on Herringbrook,
We could
there's
take
a
that
ratty
whole,
sign.
he's gonna,
Yeah, I
the
mean, the
two
whole
by
point
four
of
that's
this
there,
was to make it so that people knew.
everything is one place to
And
look.
that's the important information, not
Okay.
scattered, so.
Are we full as far as information on
No.
those
No.
kiosks?
No,
I have one suggestion, which might say, huh? But on dark skies. Information on dark skies and how lighting can be dangerous, or not dangerous, but disruptive to wildlife. That's a place people will read it, and it doesn't really apply. We don't have lights in Wiley Park,
No.
but it's a wildlife thing that I think the message is not out. People leave their spotlights on because they've gone off to, anyway. Can that be one that we add
one
to
of, the-
our
one,
Wiley
one
Park
of the
thing?
things we talked
Like
about,
that.
that
I like that.
we wanted to have information, and it could be rotating sometimes, but
Topics.
based on the natural resources at that park. So that would be something that would fit in.
Mhm.
You might take it out a season if we had something else.
That's what they both look like right now. So you got plenty of space.
So how much did those one kiosk? cost?
Where
You know,
does
I
the
didn't bring that.
Wiley
I will
Park
send
go?
it
Gonna
to you.
go on that underneath there,
The
right
wood,
there, yeah.
right there, yeah.
Would we be able to take that $800 or the money's left over? And use it at like Cottontail for a kiosk? Is
Well,
that
that's why I think we
possible?
need to reapply for a
You'd have to be-
duplicate. We need to apply to CPA again, but here's another Joanna tangent. You know, the wood,
It's gonna look
Wood
like
carved
it's carved
signs?
in.
right. That'd be a great Eagle Scout project for a kid at Nauset.
As doing the kiosk would have been too, but
I
they
know,
didn't
I know.
wanna do it.
Right, and we can't get to it. Yeah, so.
And we also have, you
Good
know,
idea. I tried.
there are other, you know,
Yeah, I know.
unfortunately.
I know.
On that too, there is something coming from the Forest Committee
Right,
explaining what they do. So
Yes.
there will be
Okay.
times where we have to go in, Rob, you'll have to
Oh,
go
yeah.
in, Alex,
You're right.
and rearrange and maybe move something out for a season. We know this, but that's where the important information is going.
Right.
Okay,
I will say, when you drive by, I drive by on Herringbrook, it's wonderful to see the people stop there first and be reading.
I'm reading.
And
it,
maybe
yeah.
taking pictures of
Yep.
like the map, so they can have it
Yep.
on their phone and
Yep.
stuff, which is, you
Cool.
know.
No, it would be nice to, there's plenty of things, but dark skies, you know, dealing with wildlife, the butterfly season, but have a rotating
Yeah,
thing too,
there's
October,
plenty
November.
of space. We just try to
The full
balance
moon,
it
the
out.
fall moons, the different moon phases is,
Yeah.
you know, there's fun stuff, but stuff that might change somebody's behavior or to improve their behavior is a
So you
nice thing.
have a sample of the dark skies information in a format that would be good for this,
AMC does,
AMC?
Appalachian Mountain Club, we could probably find it, but
Okay, at some
Yeah.
point
yeah,
for next month, if you shared it with us.
yeah,
Right, and we could,
yeah.
if we agree on it, that'd be great, and Alex can laminate it.
And particularly in the
we'll put it in
winter.
there. Yeah,
You know,
cause it's darker longer.
yeah,
Exactly.
that would be.
It's coming, Linda, it's coming.
The thing that I think we were interested in.
All right, I like that. All right, next is the fossil sandy meadow edits. As of 20 minutes ago, I spoke to Alex. And Karen was going to be submitting those edits to him tomorrow morning. She is also sick, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. The edits, just so you know, it's not really the edits, it's the layout of it. And how,
Right.
and that they're spaced and it's balanced. So Alex did reach out, and Fossil does do that, and it's not super costly. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. And if not, Alex is going to, and I've already mentioned this to Karen, we're gonna reach out to Fossil to see if they can do it so we can expedite and get the trailhead sign installed before the snow flies. Okay. Anyone have any questions on that?
Not on that, but did he reach out to the?
Okay, the ADA trail, was that where you're gonna go?
Yeah.
With the next thing, yeah.
Yeah.
They are planning on doing it during the winter.
Oh, okay,
They're able to do it then, and that's a slower time for them.
terrific.
So if we can get the trailhead sign in and then get that, we can then get come spring, install our other signs.
Okay, so yeah, I think we wanted to get the trail widened first before the sign went in, right?
Well, not the trailhead,
No, the trailhead can go in.
but I said then we'll get the ADA done. And then by spring, we can install our other signs that we have.
Is that the same contractor? Did he? reach
I
out to
think,
the- yeah,
it is. I think
Okay.
it is. He didn't say he found anybody else.
But it will be done this winter, with contract. Cool. Thanks.
Next on the agenda was the website and the trail map and.
No, no new.
Nothing new is there because we're still dealing with Paul, who is overworked and underpaid. And into everything. So we'll follow back up on that. Now, in addition to that, though, Andrew said he'd be willing to get involved on that too, which is
Right,
kind of
because-
in his wheelhouse too.
Correct.
So,
The same thing, or sort of the same thing as that, what was he talking?
he was gonna do the geotags. So
Geotax?
tags, they're called
Tags.
geotags.
He
Don't
talked
ask me
so-
to don't ask me to explain to you what that is, but it is something
Right.
computer related, kind of. All I know is that a group asked if they could put a geotag book in our free library that we have on the corner of our street. That
Oh.
Barb and I fill on Kingsbury and Herringbrook Road, and the kids came and the book was there for a year and people, it was like almost like a, what do you call it, scavenger hunt kind of
Yeah.
thing. So we were part of that, but I don't really know the whole thing, but it's,
Library
yeah, it.
next to a tree.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
see people come to.
he's tough. It would create interest, excitement and
Yeah,
I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good.
I'd like to do it.
All right, so good. We're good with that. I'll follow up with Andrew.
Okay.
The next two things, Karen was gonna report on the conservation fund and funding request and possible uses. She had me put this on the agenda the last two meetings, which unfortunately she's been unable to. Well, last meeting she attended and then we lost the internet.
Oh,
Like, remember, 10, 15
yeah,
minutes
yes,
and we lost
yes,
the internet.
yes.
So we never got anything on there and unfortunately she's not feeling well today, so I'll reach out to her. And the other was, the land acquisition outreach. Have you done anything?
Okay, Karen, we haven't met, but as I said at the last meeting, I was able to go to a Barnstable town meeting that was outreach to landowners.
Oh, you
On
went to that
their,
Monday night.
I went to that, it was really well done. They were working with, this is the Open Space Committee in Barnstable, which is of course a more developed town than ours. But they were working with the APCC and they had a nice slideshow and it started with the value of open space. Which I was talking to one of the select people there and she says, periodically, it's good to present to your select board the value of open space. And you wouldn't have to create that, you could tailor it, because the APCC, their staff, who Joanna is probably very familiar with,
Yeah.
had a lot of good slides, and they spoke about that. And then, so they went through that, and that was the most interesting part for me. And then Mark Robinson came on and got into details about financial possibilities. And he got very detailed, and there were a couple of people in the audience that were very interested in those details.
Right.
So APCC could work with us. And they have slides, the expertise. And then the other thing they had was, I saw on the website, they had on the open space, Barnstable Open Space website, there's a list, Town of Land Acquisition and Preservation Committee. They had a list of the open space criteria.
Oh,
We have one.
We have a list, but it's not it's not posted on our website.
No, and it's
And anyway,
But yeah.
it could be, and it could be because one of the things that Jackie Beebe suggests is that we share the criteria with select board.
Mhm.
So if we put together our criteria,
Mhm.
which we have,
Right,
it's a matter of fleshing them out to explain them. So I just copied this off their website as a model.
right. Well, and ours looks kind of like this. I
Well,
mean,
it's the same,
and
you know,
Bob,
water
I think Bob
protection.
Pitt did,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
So
that would be,
let's update it and.
yeah, that could be something I thought in this process.
Mhm,
We could work on clarifying our acquisition criteria,
mhm,
beefing them
Yeah.
out,
mhm,
and have that ready to present to the select board.
mhm.
And then decide if you want APCC to, you know, help with a presentation on the value of
Mhm.
open space.
So you guys know, because the Harwich Conservation Trust sponsored with Mark Robinson, and there's a big thing called, a big event for just that in August over at the community center in Harwich. And other land trusts were invited, and Eastham, you know, various, you know, we put it on our website, ECF did, and other land trusts did, and it was very well attended. So it is good. What in Eastham specifically, the result of that wasn't, we had no. There, a couple people wanted to know specifically about how do I get money for my land from you? You know, the government, if I want to sell it to, you know, because this is the cynical side of it, but like, because people, it's developable, but people are saying, oh, but I'd have to fill in this, you know, it's very difficult, but the owner still wants market value for it, and that's a challenge where they're not looking to do bargain sales or try to where they want things now. Anyway, I'm going on too long, but for us to do that presentation and for the select board, fine. I think a slide thing is great, but to do another one of these, they happen all over the place, and people, you know, it's not worth having one in Eastham, I don't think.
Right, okay.
Because, you know, people have gone to other ones and we could link them up to their websites but anyway, I'm blathering too long.
No, that's all good. That's all good
But
information.
yeah, but I think definitely doing some type of presentation to the select board, just to let them know.
Yeah.
You know, from that standpoint, and
Right.
maybe there's a subliminal way that you can get.
Well,
people to start thinking about, you
the
know.
challenge we really in Eastham is those few pieces that we know where they are, and so does Tim Cook, or I shouldn't, this is recorded, but so do the developers. We know where they are, and so it's how things, when they work out, it works out if you talk to the people before, it's, we need the money now, we want it on the market now. And so that's the challenge that we've talked to Jackie before about, can we approach those landowners before they are in we want the money now.
Number one, can we approach?
Right,
Number
right.
two, how do we do it?
How do we do it?
Well,
And that's what hasn't, there are not clear.
is there a way that, I'm just talking off the top of my head here, but is there a way that through the town website, town meetings, as far as like, you know, we do our vote and you can hand stuff out and interview and, you know, the Provincetown Independent or whatever, discussing so people can know that this is a possibility. Not the fact that they have to be getting ready to sell it tomorrow.
Right.
Or next month, but some people who have long ties with Eastham who don't want to see, like, remember the gentleman we had who came to we had somebody who came to the booth.
Mhm.
And he was talking about how eventually I don't know if it's both his folks, but a parent was still here. And he does not live on Cape, his other siblings do not live on Cape. They have no reason to move back to the Cape, but they have a piece of property.
Yeah.
That they don't wanna see, and it's a visible piece of property, they don't wanna see it, so they were trying to figure out a way, is there a way that it could somewhat be utilized by. You know, the town, so that the high school can maybe do a farm for the kids to work, or, you know, whatever.
Yes,
But
yeah.
but, and we don't really have any talking points on that, so I'm just saying if you just,
Yeah.
if we were able to do some type of publicity of sorts or something, you know, published on there that this is something you can think about. You
Right.
know, do you love your town of Eastham?
Mhm.
In the future, you know, what and you could name the existing open spaces. You know, and how we've gotten like the Higgins property and, you know, whatever, you know, the different ones, and that people can at least have it in the back of their mind. And then maybe they won't, I mean, you're still always gonna
Yeah.
have the people who, I mean, I'm in real estate, I know, you're still
Yeah.
always gonna have people who wanna get market value, but there are also tax advantages if they reduce the price of that.
Right, they
And
could
they're
almost
making
get that
in-kind-
market
right,
value.
they can get an
if they
in-kind
were
donation.
Patient
Yeah,
and talk to us first,
Right.
which,
but they have to know that this is a possibility, and I
Yeah.
think some people, if they knew that, most people don't realize until they're deciding to do it. Oh, I really, you know, I would love to give it to it would be great if the town would take it, cause I border such and such pond. But they're talking about it and now they're ready to sell. We need them to know that that's something
Prior
that they can.
to.
right,
And as the market's changing, which it is, you know, we're seeing some leveling out of some prices, no, but some pricing. And it's taking longer to sell property. I think now is the time to start thinking about introducing something by maybe next town
Mhm,
meeting
yeah.
or whatever, that we can at least have. Maybe we get up and talk about it, or we just have a flyer or something. Have you thought about, you know, the town as a beneficiary of, you know, leave a legacy kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Don't you want to leave a legacy to the town of Eastham or something like that? So it's something
Yeah.
we should talk about. I
Yeah.
think that will ease people into it, and maybe we can, you know, we're not gonna get everybody, because you're always gonna have those people
Right.
who think their property is worth a lot, and then, you know.
Yeah,
At the meeting with Jackie, she was, her directive was clear that you start with the select board with, before you talk to anyone,
Mhm.
and a good presentation would be the value of open space and the criteria.
right,
And then, as Joanna says, you can talk without naming properties that there are certain parcels that we think would be worth visiting the, you know, owners earlier
Mhm.
to, you know, talk about possible benefits.
Well, and especially. Yeah.
No, and so she wanted a policy from them first.
Policy from,
Well,
oh,
Well, how they would go about it.
approval, yes, you know,
Right,
about the coaching.
Right.
And then the second piece was, if that gets put in place,
right,
start talking to the CPC committee about putting
Yeah.
aside money.
well,
But
yeah.
that would be a later step.
Yeah, no, CPC already, said, and that joint meeting we had with the Open Space Committee and the Affordable Housing folks. Together, the priority part, there's a few priority parcels that would be amazing joint projects. And therefore, the owners, I mean, you would be tapping two funding sources of CPA funds, but also the Affordable Housing Trust, and you work together for a larger parcels like they're in Chapter 61 protection now that decide they want to move on. And there's pieces that would be smart development along the road, but you protect the whole backwoods portion, and then you're able to go through like that Stowe, Massachusetts example, which was many more acres than we have here in Eastham. It was like 130-acre former golf course and woods, but now they have a big affordable housing thing going in on part, but they protected a big swath and they got buy-in from the sellers, the buyers, the developers, the open space people, all the neighbors, but it took them several years. The sellers were interested in these things and they weren't in a hurry. So those conversations started
Yeah.
a few years before.
So I think the select board first, and then,
Mhm.
you know, and then figure out a way that we can at least let people know that this is, I don't think a lot of people know that this is a
Well,
possibility.
I think the owners of the Chapter 61 properties, you would hope they would know about that.
Right,
And those
they
are the
know.
owners that we we need the select board sort of permission somehow to remind them, because they still have an obligation of notifying the town when something's gonna change. But once that notification hits, the clock's too fast.
Right.
It's too late.
Right.
For right of first refusal.
Chapter 61, where can I go to read that information? I don't,
It's a temporary tax. Chapter 61. I can,
A lessening of the tax rate if it's for agriculture.
agriculture, forestry, or recreational open space. So in town,
okay,
it's a statewide break on your, state law. The town, you know, implements it. But there's a whole bunch written on it. Not the DPW, the tax site for Massachusetts, chapter 61. You can go in and look up that stuff, but it has to be at least 10 acre. You can't have a 2 acre piece. It has to be at least 10 acres. And the ones in town, it's great. Atlantic Oaks, the campground has chapter 61 protection because it's a it's a park. I mean, it's a camping thing that's used for camping. The house on Massasoit, and this is public knowledge. I mean, anybody could look this up. The house on Massasoit that is on the left before you get out of the Wellfleet Drive-In,
yeah.
that beautiful antique
I
house
love that.
is on 11 acres, and they have chapter 61 protection because they are farming. They are farming
I saw that.
most of that. 10 Cartway North, the peninsula, 20 acres on between Boat Meadow and First Encounter Beach. That has a conservation restriction, which is, so one would wonder why it also has chapter 61, but that's forestry. It has forest protection on more than 10 acres. And then along Higgins Road, the Averill property is put it together as 28 acres, and it's forestry, it's the trees. They're supposed to every year they put in their information and have a forest plan. But it gives them temporary big reduction on the taxes because they're not developing it. But once they decide to change the use, like selling it to someone who's going to change it, they are responsible for the rollback taxes for, I think it's just a decade. It's not forever. That's what happened with the Harris properties all along Dire Prince up to the beach, Rock Harbor. Those were under chapter protection for many years, and then they started selling them off, and they had to pay back taxes, but they built multi-million dollar homes along there.
Well,
So that's chapter 61. It's
Thank you.
temporary. It doesn't,
it's not forever.
yeah, so the ones left in town, we would hope those owners who've been owners of all the Massasoit, the Averills, they've known about this. But has anyone talked to them recently?
Right.
If they're all still like, we're gonna keep it this way for the next 3 generations, great.
Right.
If not, don't suddenly let us know you're gonna sell it.
Right.
Talk to us, so.
All right.
So on putting together the criteria for protection, for a future meeting with the select board. Could we think about that? And Joanna, you would be key in it because you've always been that and helping us put together a document.
Can the presentation you went to, can you get that slide set online? Will they share it? And Mark Robinson,
Yes,
they're
they
in
have, though.
ABCCs, so
Yeah.
let's,
They
That's
do
an
have that
excellent
slide
idea.
set.
Yeah.
They did say you can get the slides.
yeah,
So we could get the slides.
yeah.
But they didn't talk, well, they talked a little bit about the types in a general way, the types of land, near water, near marsh,
This,
water protection,
they're on the one Bob Cook mostly put together
Yeah.
that we have already.
yeah. So I can reach out to APCC and about the slides. So we can have that. And then we could customize something for Eastham.
Right.
And, it's been done. I mean, you people have it. it's just getting in a form that we'd like to present.
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay. Keep an eye on that one. So that we can keep on the agenda, I think, as we
Mhm.
keep going through that.
Next, we had the CR status of the town land off Nauset Road.
That was.
Is that the wellhead? That's
Yeah.
the well. That, we'll wait for Alex's update, but because it's so many parcels that aren't. The lawyers want it all, that's supposed to be now surveyed. So I think, what Alex had said was, who are those surveyors? That, yeah, we'll have to see what Alex, what's progress the town has made, because that's just stuck.
Surveyors out of Wellfleet.
No, it's, I don't know, but
All right, I'll check with Alex.
yeah,
For next time.
yeah, it's kind of.
Next, we move on to the Knotweed metal grates.
Okay,
Francis.
so we're back and
Yeah.
forth with Bob Cook, and he went out and looked at it.
Yeah,
And so end of the game was he agreed that it come to the time, we saw what it did, it inhibits the growth, it's maybe
Yeah.
that's 3 feet or so.
it keeps trying.
And across the way, it could
Across
be
the way,
7
it's
foot.
like 7 foot,
Foot.
yeah.
So, but it doesn't eliminate.
In between
I went
Locust,
there.
okay, in between Locust Road and Kingsbury Beach on the right-hand side,
Going north,
going
Yeah,
north
it's
towards
on the right.
Arnold's.
I didn't see it.
Well, I cut, cause Bob Cook said, yes, let's cut it a few times a year, so, and wanted it done as soon as, so I went and did it, and
Okay.
I volunteered to be a friend of the Eastham Open Space Committee, and just keep an eye on that.
So where did you put the cuttings?
I took them home. But you don't need to.
Okay, if you do drop them. You just, yeah,
What happens?
you don't want them to spread out and
Yeah,
reroute
right,
somewhere
Yeah,
else.
Right,
And they will
but
do
I
that.
think it's mainly by the rhizomes, is my understanding
Right.
always, so.
So you could,
I know at the library, we've left them. And we have really, but it's a constant thing, we
Yeah.
work on it.
Mill Road, the
Yeah.
one I keep cutting,
Yeah.
year number 8,
Yeah.
I dump them in a pile and the pile dies right
Yeah,
there,
right.
but you know.
There wasn't that much, so, you know,
Yeah.
I had, so I'll just keep an eye on it,
Yeah.
you know, like do it in June.
You could definitely notice the difference. Alex and I went there and you could definitely notice the difference where the grade is as opposed to across this.
Oh, yeah, I
Oh,
mean, it's gonna
right,
strangle them,
Yeah.
but the reason they haven't worn out yet. Is, I mean, cutting them should make them wear out faster.
Faster.
They get worn out because they're not getting to be big, but when you cut them, they put a ton of energy into resprouting, that's the cutting piece, so doing both. I don't
So
know,
that's why I like,
we were hoping that the mesh
would do it,
would wear it out over, and how many years has that mesh,
Oh.
is that mesh?
close to 5 now.
It's close to 5, so it's. Just taking a long time, but the bottom line, we already knew this, is it's only good for a very small patch.
Yeah, right.
And only if you're not connected underground to all the other patches, and so,
Right.
yeah, we're,
I
There's a
wasn't
lot of
sure
numbers
another
there.
thing for some of the new members too.
Yeah.
Why did, when that section was chosen? Why, you know, why?
Why was it that?
It was, and this is information I had back from when I joined the committee.
yeah,
And there is some open space land that is owned by the town there. There are no trails. It is small, but there's no, there was what they call social trails. Sometimes
Right.
the neighbors
yeah,
make little paths. But I think this is the type of thing that if it was on the files that we share, it would make, that's why it was chosen, because it backs on
well, it was
to-
chosen to keep it from going
into the open
the open
space.
space, yeah,
It wasn't just a random choice, and you
Right.
see here, and my guess was it never came up in the meeting so that people weren't aware of that thinking.
yeah. Remember the other place we thought it was the Rock Harbor Harris beach, there's a
Yeah.
ton of knotweed there. But then it became getting conservation, getting all the approvals, it just.
And now that my favorite view of Eastham, looking over the marsh, is now not me. So by not doing that, Bob Cook and I wanted to work on that, and That's
Oh,
when
up
they-
at Rock Harbor.
Rock Harbor, that's when they were working on the whole,
Oh, yeah,
the whole
yeah.
project.
Right.
So what do you guys think about the window boxes on the pipe? I just think that's funny. They look nice, but. The
There's
window
one
boxes,
hanging plant too.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know, it's just funny. So maybe not, we could just put window box, stick them down.
Yeah,
I'd like to see like two more on that side, cause it does look
There's
finished.
there's a gentleman who
And
does
he
it all
waters
by
them.
himself.
Yeah, I know, and he waters them.
Yeah.
I've seen him repeatedly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny. Humans
I was
are
gonna
so
try-
bizarre. Anyway, we are all bizarre. I am one of them too, so,
So,
Alright.
okay.
Can I
that was.
visit this
thank you.
window? So geo taxing,
Cash,
Tagging,
tag, TAG,
TAG. Geotags.
Okay,
geotag
Oh, great.
activity.
climate action.
oh, that.
Okay. Right.
Right.
See, we're good.
The last thing that Alex and I were discussing, which we didn't have a particular place in mind, was to try to set up another work project. It's nice to do one a month.
That was so cool finding that musk turtle.
Right?
We've
We
never seen a musk
we went
turtle
over
before.
and checked out, I'm terrible, it's the first time I was actually there. What's the trail that starts at the Wild Care?
Southeast Conservation
Okay,
Area.
so we walked that all the way over to where the bike path.
Yeah,
There really wasn't much of anything to cut.
Privet was the big,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Over.
It's pretty wide
Mhm.
and good. The only thing we did note, and I reached out to Karen, was the bat boxes. There are 3 of them that have fallen down. So I don't know who installed those. I thought Karen might know.
bat boxes.
Yeah, you know, boxes instead of
Yeah.
owl boxes, they were bat boxes.
Yeah, I
and they're
know.
on the ground now, and they're big.
I think
So I didn't know.
they've
Oh,
been
and
there for a while.
I don't know who installed them.
Yeah,
It'd be
I-
great to get them back reinstalled.
Yeah.
If they are actually doing the mosquitoes. I have no idea. There are a couple owl houses also, but mainly they were still on the trees, but the bat boxes were down. Alex was
Yeah.
gonna try to find out who did it also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh, ooh,
ooh, but they weren't owl boxes, they were bat
Oh.
boxes, so bats make a different noise.
cool.
So that was one thing, but does anyone have an area that should we revisit Cottontail is what we thought? We haven't been there since the spring.
Right, we haven't.
We were there in the spring.
The part I know Bob Cook is most worried about is, or was, and he did a ton of work years ago. It's off the trail. That's the problem. It's the, it's the bittersweet and the poison ivy
Right.
and the ivy reaching up and gonna do the overstory, and it's off the trail into the, headed towards the, when you first go up the trail and you stay to the right, you don't, and then then it turns and, Herring Pond is there and it starts to turn, it's off in the corner heading to the pond. That there was a ton of, the invasive stuff that was, taking, threatening the story. So Bob did a ton of work there and that was years ago. So we need to go off trail and do a scouting trip to see what
Okay.
needs to be done there. So I know that one area that Bob did. And there's a few other areas in there, because that used to be, I was supposed to be checking it regularly and that happened for like 1 month.
I can reach out to Alex and I can take a walk if somebody else wants to join us. We could try to.
Yeah,
All right, so I'll reach out. Okay, and we can,
Okay,
see
so-
and then try to.
Deacons also, but it's close to where the dispute is. There's multiflora. There's
Mm.
locust tree, there's autumn olive. But, until that gets
I
resolved,
don't wanna poke the bear.
correct.
yeah.
So do we wanna
Did we-
pick a date to do the work or do we wanna?
Let's pick a date to see what we need to do for the work,
Okay,
because before we can bring clippers anyway, because we
Yeah,
do
right.
stuff, but yeah. So today is the 15th. We're
Right.
not doing it today. I'm busy. Um.
pretty flexible next week. Right now, anyways. Actually, any day next week is good for me right now.
How about Wednesday at
Perfect.
11
Okay,
or Wednesday at 1? How about too near a mealtime is always a problem. I mean, if it's before, if it's after, it's okay.
what time? It's either.
How about 1 o'clock
1
on
o'clock?
Wednesday, the
Good, that works for you,
22nd?
Linda?
Yes.
Okay.
Easy,
so
meat and cottontail
Meet at
for,
content, but we'll bring our clippers,
Yeah.
we'll kind of see
Yeah.
what kind of a
Yeah.
big job there might be, then we could set another time or date that.
Okay,
All right,
unless there's another typhoon coming in.
I will tell
Oh,
Alex
the
that, will be
weatherman
good.
got it wrong.
and then we have the backup one.
Good.
Uh,
Climate
yeah,
action.
yeah, let me just share that.
I don't have that on mine,
Oh,
I grabbed the wrong one, sorry.
Eastham Climate Action Plan.
Yeah.
I got a note from them that that is an ongoing group that they had, it's the Eastham Climate Committee.
Yeah.
But they had a state organization that came in and helped them with goals and, how to organize for action. And they had a fall community workshop, and I was there from Open Space, Alex was there from Natural Resources, and Karen was there from Conservation Commission. This fall community, there's a fall meeting talking about what goals they have finalized on. And it's 10 to 11:30, October 29th, Earl Mountain Borough. I can go to that, and since I went to the first one, I'm happy to do it. But if there's further commitments from the Open Space Committee, maybe somebody else can follow up on that, so there'd be some continuity is the word, but I'll do this one. But until I get, and I'll share the goals that I get with you at the next
What time
meeting.
is that?
It's October
29th.
29th, 10 to 11:30 in the Earl Mountain Room. The one they had in the fall, they had everybody, they had department heads, committee heads. And because it was very professionally organized, and so I'm sure these goals will be very specific and very good. So they had they had outside expertise coming in, which was really as consultants for them.
That's what you need.
Yeah, because I mean, like open space, the rec plan's been in-house and it's taken a lot of time because it's such a big commitment. So they were very lucky to get this something. Is the 29th at
10 to 11:30,
yeah, is that Wednesday? What day?
that's a Wednesday,
Okay, so,
I'll try to
and
make
then actually I cannot go to that Wednesday because
the content.
yeah, I won't be at Cottontail. There's a
The 22nd is cocktail.
the 22nd. Okay. this is
That's
the
next
this is-
week.
this
The
is-
29th is the,
Okay, the 29th. Oh, next week. Oh, sure. Cottontail I can go. So, I was getting my Wednesdays mixed up. Okay, cool. Okay, so the Cottontail is 1 o'clock on October 22nd.
Right.
Correct? I didn't have that correct on my notes.
Okay. Any additional old or new business? Covered a lot.
just, well, new businesses that the pond group from Herring Pond is gonna be putting in a CPA application for alum treatment, second alum treatment on that pond. Have they approached? They've approached abutters for letters of support, so ECF got one of those, please support us in the CPA application. Did they send anything to Open Space Committee? Okay. You heard my rant about alum, but
So spell that. Alum.
ALUM, it's aluminum treatment to ponds to bind phosphates, which are threatening water quality, and sink them to the bottom where it stays. It doesn't go anywhere. And that was done 12 years ago at a cost of
Well, something's going,
$100,000 or $200,000.
Right.
And they're putting in an application for a retreatment of a problem that's not going away.
Are there other ways to treat that?
It's, I feel the far side, commercial where the things are. Somebody's lighting all these matches here and there's fires and you keep putting out the fires below. And you don't trap the little
the-
person
who's
lighting all
lighting
the
the
matches.
Okay,
But it's no, there's not many options. But to fix the problem is
it's big.
to sewer. I mean, it's the septic systems and some of it's fertilizing lawns, but most of it is septic systems. Cesspools should be, would be completely gone, and they're probably not all gone there. But septic's is Title V, none of them are protecting our ponds, so do we spend another few $100,000 to do a treatment that will work again short term, but we still don't know the long-term consequences of binding something down there that can actually, it can get taken loose and kill everything.
Something's going on with herring in that pond.
Yeah, the herring run is a mess. That's a different, well,
Abysmal.
the herring run itself needs to be completely redredged out all the way out through the marsh, and that was done. Henry Lind had some information on, they did that once 20 or 30 years ago, and it needs to be done again, and it's not a priority. Anyway, these are the challenges we have, but we may get approached as the Open Space Committee, and I'm the rep to CPA. Hillary is going to be one of the supporters of the application going in. And it'll probably get funded, but it's unfortunate. Because it's not supposed to be, it's supposed to be temporary.
Well, I think they know that it's only 10-ish years, right? Didn't they go into that?
The first round, and so what's been done,
over 10 years, nothing has been researched to alleviate.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
new. Yeah.
Well, and the association putting it together, well, we wait and see the application, but what I've seen of the application so far is we all want this fixed, and this is how we're gonna do it. And there's CPA applications are supposed to also include, what have you raised money on your own? You're not supposed to just get all the money from one thing. So what have you done to try to,
Abate
do
this on your own.
Yeah. And so I have many questions for the community, like how many, everybody wants the clean pond, but has everybody agreed to, I mean, are there any cesspools left is the first
Yeah.
one. And has everybody signed a thing to make sure their septic system is working and pumped out? And, it's like, it's not to say policing that's impossible, but the applicant, that coalitions should be doing some homework first, not just saying, oh,
Right.
we want money to
they-
do
they
this
should-
again.
They should police their own people first.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So anyway,
Well, if we get approached, we'll bring it up to the committee for sure.
So
Okay.
it's the neighbors on the Herring Pond, but they also did it in Grate Pond. Was that town initiated or neighbor?
a combination, but it's again, it's gotta come up. Great pond again
Yeah.
too.
Sure.
Right.
So I go down Crosby Village a lot. I walk down Crosby Village a lot. So yeah,
It's
All right.
we humans
I know,
have septic systems
I
here
know.
and we use them.
That,
And it's not good for our water, but it's not an easy answer. And there's certainly not an easy short-term answer.
There is
So-
no short-term answer. Because you're right,
there's no
in
quick
the
fix.
long run. What are we causing?
Right.
I don't know if anybody's. I
Well,
don't have the
I mean,
expertise.
this is
to look
not for
into it.
this
That's
meeting,
right.
but the first phase of wastewater
Yeah.
planning and sewering. The part of, the ponds aren't in that, Bob Cook's pointed that out, we know that. but maybe that the ponds should be phase 2 of sewering, because
Right.
we do want to protect our waters. We're not getting new ponds. Well, after the deluge, maybe we are getting some new ponds, but
Yeah.
we want to preserve our great ponds.
Yeah.
And so sewering, Great Pond and Herring Pond are gonna probably, I'm gonna
Makes
be living in
sense.
Boston by then. I think there's sewers in Boston.
Yeah, they are.
There are. They work
There
too.
aren't kettle ponds.
There's
Okay.
no kettle.
All right.
Last time I was
No.
there.
Okay.
Anything else? Do I have get us out of here while we can? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Next meeting is
Next meeting will be November 19th.
at 2:30. Yeah, I have that on my calendar.
Okay.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.